live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lounge Time. I'm your host, Rich Saile, and today, week one is nearly in the books. But we had a lot of crazy scenarios on Sunday. Ravens-Bills might have been the best opening kickoff game of probably, definitely the last 10 years. I mean, there's a lot of them. This might have been number one. Chiefs bandwagons, gather around because I'm ready to talk today. I mean, I was talking up a storm Friday night on X, man, but I mean, where are y'all at? Y'all are so quiet. I can't hear you, bandwagons. We're gonna get to you. And them damn New England Patriots pissed me off again. I'm gonna get there, but I'm not gonna do it right now. But hope you guys, NFL Sunday was great. The only good thing about me was Survivor 3 for 3. I had 3 picks. I had the Commanders, I had the Broncos, and I had the Cardinals. All 3 won last night. So Survivor, at least, I got past opening week. Problem now is I don't know who to pick for week 2, but I got a little ways away. But other than that, I hope your weekend was as better as mine, because mine was brutal, okay? From a rooting perspective and fantasy perspective, it was bad. But you know what? I did end up winning my first bet yesterday with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen rushing yards. That was clutch. So I got that. So I at least ended with a win. All right. But let's get to today's show. This is an analysis-heavy episode. We're doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Roughly this week, I might have to switch it up to Thursday because of some things I've got going on. So we're going to go over a lot from NFL Sunday, and I'm not going to touch a little bit on college football. I'm not going to go a lot in depth because the NFL Week 1, there was a lot to cover. Let's start off with the nightcap game. I watched this game from start to finish. This was a hell of a game. Ravens at Bills, rematch of the divisional round matchup from last year. And I want to start by this, okay? The Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen's on a mission. He's not going for just a second straight MVP. This man wants to win a Super Bowl. Now, let's start with the good, okay? The Bills, Josh Allen, they got hit early with adversity, and when that game felt like it started to slip away, down 15 points, they responded. And I was a little worried because I thought Baltimore would play more up for the pass because they knew that the ball had to go in Josh Allen's hands. They had them where they wanted them, but like the Ravens usually do, which we'll get into. This is the winners thing first. The Bills won, right? Josh Allen, 33 of 46 for 394 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then also, he did rush for 2 touchdowns. So the man had 4 total touchdowns, didn't turn it over on the Ravens. And talk about Superman. Dude, he was literally Superman. Like, he made some throws where I was like, wow. And Josh Allen, I mean, listen, I'm a New England fan, okay? It's hard for me to find anything to dislike about him. He's in my division, okay? Now, Tua, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, there was a little bit with the Jets, okay? I can't find anything about Josh Allen not to like. This was another impressive performance, another miraculous performance by him. And I know a lot of people are ready to declare him as the best quarterback in the league right now. And all, you know, I don't know if people started to say all-time great, but he's basically like a rarefied quarterback, people were saying. I I guess we can start to go there because people have started to say this shit about Mahomes. So I don't like saying this, but if we're going by the definition of a rare quarterback as far as size, speed, arm, accuracy, 6'5", I want to say at least 220, 240, but I'm probably off on that. The way he can move too, yeah. Okay. Now, you cheap bandwagons are probably going to be like, well, why didn't you say this about Mahomes? So, hold on. We're talking rare in the combination of size, speed, arm, and accuracy. Josh Allen's physically more built as a rare generational talent than Mahomes is. He is. You bandwagons can cry all you want. No. And I'm referring to Chiefs bandwagons in case you don't know. Those fans, no. You guys, I actually respect you guys. I do. The one team in my division I actually respect, okay? Bills Mafia, you guys have one of the most crazy traditions ever, okay, with the slamming on the tables and stuff like that. Honestly, that's why I say it's like one of the top 5 football towns as far as traditions and like how invested they are. Like, it's crazy. And that's a compliment from me as a New England fan. I respect you guys, okay? Anyway, back to the game. James Cook didn't run the ball really that crazy. They only ran the ball 31 times, and they did all right. But their young, spread out receiving core, Keon Coleman, he stepped up big, 8 for 112. Shakir, those of you that dropped him in fantasy, I think you're going to be fine. 5 for 64 yards, or 6 for 64. Palmer, love that pickup in the offseason. He's going to be a stud for you, okay? Listen, Kincaid scored the opening touchdown of the game. The Bills, they're going to be really good. Now, here's the concern for them, okay? That defense is not good. That defense worries me, okay? Derrick Henry ran wild on you, okay? And that's not a good sign. 40 points you give up to the Ravens. Now, they have injuries in the secondary, okay? They have a problem at cornerback, too. I've spoken to a fan off camera that I'm friendly with, okay? And he was telling me that their cornerback, too, they're worried because Harrison's not going to get back to, like, week 6 or 7, I want to say, roughly. So, they got problems on defense. But their offense, again, this is bad signs to me of leaning too much on Josh. And they got behind early. It did work out this week, but I would be a little concerned with the fact that they did try to establish a little bit of a running game, but it felt like Josh, they're putting too much on him. And I feel like when they start to do that, you know what's going to happen as an end result. It's not going to go well in the games that you need to win the most. Now, Josh Allen, I will declare is the best quarterback in the league. Right now, I am declaring it. I declared it last year. People that were fans of Lamar were probably not happy about it. I don't give a damn. People that are fans of Mahomes, I definitely don't give a shit, okay? I am declaring Josh Allen the best quarterback in the league right now. I am, okay? He hasn't let his team down in the postseason. The Bengals in 22, that was bad, okay? And then I don't count the Texans game, although that was an overtime game, though, right? But he hasn't let him down recently. The defense has let him down recently, which is the big concern for Buffalo going forward. That defense needs to be much better than what it was last night. That was not good enough, okay? 40 points to the Ravens. You are not going to win many games if you're expecting your offense to score 41 points a game. That's unheard of. It's not going to happen every game. That defense needs to play a lot better, okay? But give credit to the Bills, man. Josh Allen did superhuman things, and he did what he had to do, but very concerned about the defense. Now let's get to the Ravens. Here's the good. Derrick Henry did what he always does. 18 for 169, 2 rushing touchdowns. And I actually think Lamar Jackson played really well this game. 70 yards on the ground for a touchdown, 2 through the air, 14 to 19, 209. I actually think Lamar played well. Okay? Zay Flowers, 7 for 143 and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, bro, he had a Randy Moss-esque catch. Remember Randy Moss making a one-hand catch against Vontae Davis when he was a rookie in Miami, in New England? I swear I saw flashbacks of that with D-Hop's catch last night. I was like, okay, D-Hop, you just went Randy Moss, Chris Carter mode with one hand. I'm like, damn. Even Larry Fitz. I forgot Larry Fitz has great hands too. Okay. But, once again, the analytics that John Harbaugh absolutely loves bites you in the fucking ass and you choke again. And I'm doing the Reggie Miller choke on John Harbaugh. That's what John Harbaugh did again. I mean, goddamn. The Ravens never fail to blow a game they had in the bag, and then John Harbaugh's team chokes right on time. This is what he's known for. Right now, within the last 5 years, easily. They choke games right on cue. It's definitely happened a lot in the last 3 to 4 years. Definitely has happened a lot. This is another bit. This is a game, Harbaugh, that's going to hurt you for the 1 seed. And let me say this. The Baltimore Ravens, you let one get away from you again. Cleveland a couple years ago, you blew. Okay, the Jaguars, that was a blown one, I think 2-3 years ago. I can name a few games. You've blown some games. This is another list of that. John Harbaugh is starting to become a big game choker on the equivalence of Sean McDermott. He is. You guys don't want to say it. But Richie's won a Super Bowl. Look at the last 3 to 4 years. How many double-digit leads the Ravens have blown. You cannot tell me it's all on the defense. No. Oh, but Derrick Henry fumbled, Rich. The Buffalo scored off that. You held Josh Allen at 25 before the last 2 drives. Why can't you get off the field? No excuse. You are the most stacked roster in the league right now. Top to bottom. But you blew it. You absolutely blew it. No excuses. Okay? 41 points will not... I'm sorry, that's inexcusable. Okay? 1 sack on Josh Allen. All right? And they get no takeaways. No surprise. All right? The Ravens defense pulls another choke job. John Harbaugh really is the one with the choke job once again. And I think he's a Hall of Fame coach. He's really good. He's won a Super Bowl, okay? He's been to a ton of AFC Championship games. I know at least 4 come to mind. But, dude, he's blown a lot of games recently where it's time to... where I've been questioning him. I have, because I don't know why. And I think it's the analytics problem. He's blown a lot of big games within the last 4 years. And, listen, it's got to get addressed at some point in this game. At some point. But it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. So, the Ravens, choke job. Bills, Josh Allen, superhuman, best quarterback in football right now at the moment. And I'm reserving that title. So, non-biased as a New England fan too. All right? Now, I know someone's watching that is dying to get to this next segment. I know he's dying. He even said it in my comment section. But I know who this is for next. Chief Bandwagons, I can't hear you. Where y'all at? Come on, where are the fucking Twitter trolls at now? Where y'all at? Y'all are fucking crickets right now. Crickets. Oh, wait. You know what I heard? Y'all are last place in the AFC West. Oh, man. What? Oh, you know what I heard too? You really are trying to get Amari Cooper out of retirement because Rice is suspended and Worthy's banged up? Oh, my God. Oh, but he doesn't have enough help. Well, you made it to the Super Bowl with this roster the last 5 years. Why does he need help now? Why? I don't know why you guys need to even bother calling Amari Cooper out of retirement. If you say he's this transcendent guy, why do you need to call Amari Cooper out of retirement? Oh, because you're afraid you're not going to get back to the Super Bowl. Oh, no, you're not going. No. But let's talk about the Chargers. Now, I picked the Chiefs to win. All right, I know Joham's telling me, oh, Rich, you're wrong this week. See, I told you the Chargers could win. I'm allowed to be wrong, but yet still feel happy that I was wrong, Joham. Let me feel like it's okay to be wrong for once, okay? Predictions are predictions for a reason. I thought Rashawn Slater being out for the season was going to be something that was a bad sign for the Chargers because Spagnuolo blitzes a shit ton. Jim Harbaugh has not really beaten the Chiefs last year. And I thought Herbert losing one of his top linemen, and Spags loves the blitz, this is not going to go well. Yeah, but it actually went pretty well for the Chargers because Justin Herbert, he got sacked 3 times. But you know what he was doing? And I use this for a group chat with my friends, okay? He was slicing and dicing your fucking defense, Spags. 25 of 34 for 318, 3 touchdowns. He didn't turn it over, 0 picks. Yet he got sacked 3 times. He was slicing and dicing your defense, Justin Herbert. And he's beaten the Chiefs before. Remember week 3 of 2021, Brandon Staley went in Arrowhead and he beat you. Wasn't this a similar score? 27-24, I think it was. Yeah. So Justin Herbert's beaten Mahomes before. And they beat him in game 1. Now, their running game did not do as well as I thought it would. Omari and Hampton, thank you for selling me in fantasy. 8 points. Come on, man. That's a joke. All right. Quentin Johnston finally did not have the case of the drops that he had with the Chargers since he came in the league. 5 for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. Finally showed the Chargers why he was worth a first-round pick investment. Good job, Quentin Johnston. I'm really happy for you. You really needed to have a good game. Lon McConkey's a stud, 6 for 74 yards. Okay. Keenan Allen. I mean, did he go back to the fountain of youth? 7 for 68 yards and a touchdown. Keenan Allen looked like 2013 Keenan Allen over again with Phillip Rivers. God dang. He looked like he picked up that offense and no problem and didn't miss a beat. He looked great. And he's like, 33? 32? He didn't miss a beat. He didn't. That defense. The Chargers defense, Jesse Minter, I said it last year. I think he's one of the most underrated defensive coordinators in all of football. He was really good in college with Michigan. Helped them get to the playoff 3 straight years. A national championship, even though people want to make the whole Connor Stallions thing in Michigan. They still won at the end of the day. Bullshit and get mad all you want. They still won. Okay. And last year he did a really good job with that defense. And this was a pretty good job again, where Deshaun Henley, they got after Mahomes, okay? Khalil Mack was close a couple times. I don't know how Mahomes got some of those throws off, but Khalil Mack was affecting him. I'll tell you that much, okay? But the LA Chargers, this is a big win because now the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Raiders all won. And the Chiefs are 0-1, and they're last place in the division. But the Chargers, this is a good win because you know what? This shows that there's going to be competition for them in the division. You've got 3 really great head coaches with Andy Reid in that division. Jim Harbaugh, Sean Payton, Pete Carroll. They've all won high amount of games at both college or pro level. Jim Harbaugh went to a Super Bowl. Sean Payton won a Super Bowl. Pete Carroll won at both USC national titles, and he won a Super Bowl with Seattle. Oh, yeah, Andy Reid. We're going to get to you, but big win for Jim Harbaugh and company. This was a game that they had. They got a key win. I did not think we were going to win this game. They proved me wrong, and I need Johan to back off because he's going after me, whatever. Although, Johan, listen, I will say, he's not going to like this. That roughing the passer that they called when the Chargers scored their first touchdown of the game, that wasn't a roughing the passer. I'm a real one. I'll admit that. But either way, it still would have been a touchdown. So don't get mad at me, Johan. I just got to call it like it is, okay? Now. She fit like it's... So... I was on a Twitter storm on X, and I was like, so what's the excuse now that we're going to start planting after this loss? Because you guys scored 6 points in the first half. 6. And I have it right. Okay. What's our excuse? Because you did not look good offensively in that first half. That's for sure. Okay, 3 and outs. Kelsey accidentally hurts Worthy. I don't think that was intentional, but that was something that was weird. So what are we going to blame? Oh, Xavier Worthy was out. Our receivers are so bad. Okay, let's look at the numbers, right? You actually made Tyquan Thornton look pretty decent compared to what New England did the last 3 years with him. You actually made him look decent. Okay? Hollywood Brown, 10 for 99 and zero touchdowns. So 10 catches for 99 yards. He's a burner. He's a deep threat. I mean, I guess no one's scared of Hollywood Brown. Even though he's a deep threat. Juju at 5 for 55. Y'all kept trying to tell me he's a number one receiver when you guys won the Super Bowl in 22. So apparently, I mean, he's used to your system. So what's the problem now? Oh, he's not a number one now, but he was a number one in 22. No, that was Travis Kelce, but you guys don't want to ever admit that. Okay? Speaking of Kelce, 2 for 47 and a touchdown, wide open. That was a blown coverage play by the Chargers. I don't know what the safety was doing. Let's talk about this too. Why is it when Mahomes is running out of the pocket, why is Dante Jackson going like, I can't face my back towards the camera, but like the corner is faced towards Mahomes, not even looking at him, and he's staring at the receiver, and Mahomes is running behind him. Turn your fucking head around and go fucking hit him. Oh, but he's trying to bait the defenders into throwing a late hit to draw a flag. But, bro, when are we going to crack down on this, Goodell? When are we going to crack down on this? Because at this point, you're putting defensive players in a position where I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? He's trying to bait me to hit him. But if I hit him, I get a flag. But if I don't hit him, he's just going to freaking, try to bait a hit until he gets hit or whatever. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? This is the problem that he's doing when he goes out of bounds on the sideline. Like, he's trying to not slide out. He's almost baiting a late hit. And you're putting defensive players in a position where I'm like, well, what is he going to... I got to make a play on the ball, but if I shove him out, it's a flag. If I hit him, it's a flag. You're putting defensive players in a position where it's like two-hand touch. No, this is fucking tackle football. When you leave the pocket, you are become a runner. You are open to get hit. You leave the pocket and become a runner. You are open to get hit. You can't now all of a sudden change the rules with him, but you have to because he's putting defenders in a tough spot where you can't fucking hit him late because if you hit him late, the ref staring right at him is going to throw a flag. But he's baiting a defender to fucking hit him. You guys know what play I'm talking about. You guys know exactly what it is. All right, but what's our excuse, bandwagons? What's our excuse? Oh, but our offensive line is still like a work in progress. You have a tough start to the season. Oh, but Worthy got out. Well, what's our excuse? Well, what you guys have yet to tell me on X anything. What is the excuse for you bandwagons losing game 1 to the Chargers? What's the excuse? Tell me. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, bandwagons, because you guys were crickets. You got none. You got no excuses. None. Guess you play next week. You play the Eagles. Now, let me be a real one. You're probably going to win that game. Why? Because you're not going to go 0-2, because especially if Taylor Swift's at that game, they're not going to let you go 0-2. Now, Jalen Carter's definitely getting suspended. That break's going to finally go your way. So you finally got your first break. Okay? So, and you're home. You're not in Philly. You're probably going to win that game because the Eagles did not look impressive against Dallas. And if they play like they did against Dallas, you're definitely winning. So, the league cannot afford to have its biggest face go 0-2 because if they go 0-2, if you go 0-2, oh, there's going to be a fun show next week. There's going to be a fun show next week. You guys are going to make me be so happy if you go 0-2. And I'm going to... You remember the GOAT mask, right? With the Super Bowl post-game video? Yeah. You remember bringing Yoham on? Yeah. There's going to be more of that this year. You better not go 0-2. Because I'm telling you, he's itching to get back here. He's got to take care of something right now. I'm not going to say his business on that, okay? But he said he will be back. He's got more trash talk for you bandwagons, okay? But you Twitter trolls, okay? You've been quiet. You got no excuses. You should win against Philly. You're home. I think you'll actually win. I really do. Because the Eagles didn't look impressive. But I'm making it no secret. I'm rooting for the Eagles. So, but that Chiefs offense, not impressive. Oh, but he's going to have his most explosive year. Down the field passing game's going to be back. Oh, he's going to set up historical numbers. Where? Rice is suspended 6 games. Worthy's banged up. I don't know how long, and I hope he, it's not nothing really bad career-wise for him. I don't think it is. It looks like he just hurt his shoulder. If anything, he'll be out a few games probably, okay? Or he'll probably be back in the lineup. I got to hear the injury report, but I don't want to hear excuses, bandwagons. I want to know. I want to know what the excuse is, because you guys are not going to be as good as you were the last 5 to 7 years. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. So get that thought out your head, because it's not going to be that way. So now let's go to Miami and the Colts. I know I put out a poll yesterday about which topic I should have led the show with, and Miami and the Chiefs were actually one, but I had to talk about Ravens-Bills because that game was crazy. So I made the call late, plus only 2 people voted on the polls. Come on, guys. I'm trying to get you guys involved so where you guys can pick the opening topic for me. Now, you did give me Arch Manning last Wednesday or Thursday. That was clutch, but I'm trying to get you guys involved, man. You guys got to, give me something where you're like, Rich, talk about this. Now, only one person said in the comments, but then there was another one that said Miami. Let's get to Miami Colts, all right? Because I did not expect this domination of a blowout. I mean, I said that the Dolphins are not good. Now, to be fair, okay, I also was late on this. I'll explain this more late on the late half of the show, and I'll promise I'll be quick with this because this is an analysis-heavy one. I don't have Miami making the playoffs at all. This was before yesterday. I did not think the Colts would make the playoffs either. But the Colts dominated Miami, and guess who dominated? Dominated for them. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones dominated against the Dolphins. Am I pleasantly surprised by that? I can't actually lie. I'm actually somewhat surprised by it. Because he's the last quarterback I would have ever expected to dominate in a new offense against you. But then I thought to myself, well, the only players they have that are notable on that defense that I know of are Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's a really good safety, and then Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. But they're always hurt every year, it feels like. But they're really good pass rushers when healthy. After that, I can't even name a guy that is of a name. Okay? So, Daniel Jones, let's go through his numbers. 22 of 29 for 272 yards and a touchdown. And then he ran for 2 more. I had Giants fans crying in a group chat. Bro, Daniel Jones has 2 rushing touchdowns. He actually looks good, bro. What the fuck? Yeah. He's not. I'm not name dropping who that was, but you know who you are if you're watching. Yeah, I didn't name drop you. I could have. Now he's been on the show before. I need to get him back on again. But he don't want to come on now that the Giants lost. But when they win, he gonna find his way over here. But he didn't come on. No, he did. He's more of an NBA guy actually. But I'll probably get him on later. Jonathan Taylor, 18 carries, 71 yards. Again, they did pretty good. I mean, I didn't watch this game, but I figured the Colts were going to run Taylor early, but I was shocked at how well Daniel Jones played. I would have never expected him to score on his first 7 drives with Michael Pittman Jr., who's a really underrated number 1 receiver. I mean, this dude, because he plays for the Colts, he doesn't get as much attention, and he doesn't put up, insane numbers. But if he had a really good quarterback, he would be crazy. And I think he had Phillip Rivers his rookie year, and he did pretty solid that rookie year. And then they've gone through a carousel of guys, and they've just never panned out. But if Michael Pittman Jr. had a better quarterback, he would get a lot more attention. And he should, because he's a pretty damn good receiver. All right? Tyler Warren, he did exactly what I thought he would do. 7 catches, 76 yards. I knew he was going to be a good tight end in the draft. I don't know why the Bears passed on him for Colston Loveland. That is unbeknownst to me. Tyler Warren, I thought, was the best tight end in the draft. But the Colts, absolute steal. He goes off. Alec Pierce, 36-yard catch for him. All right. Josh Downs didn't do much. But the Colts, honestly, a former Dolphin had a fumble recovery. Xavier Howard. See, I love picking fun on the Dolphins because they're the team that always beats my damn team in Miami every year, and they're probably going to win week 2 because I'm going to save it for next segment. Okay. But they always beat us. And I know in my mind, I'm like, they're not fucking good. But their only way is just, they always beat us in New England. That's their fucking Super Bowl. Not even in New England. They always beat us in Miami. But to see them look like absolute shit, oh man, it was priceless. Let's go to Miami. Now, Tua, 14 of 23 for a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Whoa, let's repeat the stat line. 14 of 23 for 114 yards. 114 yards. A touchdown and 2 picks. Yeah. Thank you for paying Tua $55 million a year. I was like, please pay him. And you paid him, and I'm like, thank you. Because the minute the dude plays a very good team or a very great defense, trash. Never was good. I've gone over the games a numerous bunch of times. I don't think he'll ever be a franchise changing. I think we need to put rest and piss tank for Tua. Because you have done absolute shit since you've gotten him. Oh, but we made the playoffs twice. How did Tua do in his lone playoff game? Garbage. I remember I watched the game. Big game after big game, choke job. Oh, Mike McDaniel. Have you been figured out? I think you have. Because, let me tell you, if you rough up that offensive line, Tua with no protection sucks. The timing's off. He has no arm to, fear defense. He's accurate, but boy, if you just stay Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, you put the safeties back, don't let them go deep or anything like that, and you get to him, he ain't doing shit. Because he's got no arm. You just got to rough up those little speedsters. Tyreek's getting older. He's in his 30s. That speed's gone. Oh, he started yelling at Mike McDaniel, why am I not getting the ball? You had 6 targets. You had 4 catches for 40 yards, and you get mad. Oh, but you wanted to go to Miami. Why, Tyreek? Oh, because you actually thought Tua was an elite quarterback. Oh, but he's the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. You still saying that now, Tyreek? You still saying that now, Tyreek? He throws nothing but fucking 2-3-yard passes. It's easy for him to do that. But, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, I'm sure you love leaving for Miami when you expected a Super Bowl. You ain't winning no Super Bowl in Miami. You were never going to. You were never going to win a Super Bowl in Miami. Okay? Devon Achane did pretty good, though. Jalen Waddle, 4 catches, 30 yards. I avoided the Dolphins receivers in fantasy. I have never been more happier about that ever. Okay? But the Miami Dolphins, O-line, 3 sacks allowed. Your running game, outside of Achane, not really good. Not really good at all. Your defense sucks. So, again, you looked awful. Now, am I going to go worst team in the NFL level? No, I'm not going to do that. But they are definitely a bottom third, maybe bottom half of the league team, easily. I will say that, but they're not the worst team in the NFL. That I will say and be like, no. That's still a work in progress. Now, if we, meaning my New England Patriots, put up a Colts-like performance from yesterday, then I might have to go there. But I'm not going to do it because I know we're going to lose in Miami. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, all right? But your defense sucks. Your O-line is going to be awful this season. And Tyreek Hill, I'm calling it right now. He's going to get traded right at the trade deadline. This is my prediction. I am not saying this is going to happen. This is my prediction. Tyreek Hill will get traded at the trade deadline. And Miami, if you go 1-5, 2-6, yeah, Tyreek's gone. Because he wanted out last offseason, but yet he came back. You sure about that, Tyreek? Like I said, I am here for the Dolphins' downfall for the time being. I'm all here for it. I want to say fuck Miami so bad. because of the Dolphins, okay? Because of the Dolphins. Now, the city is probably great, okay? But I want to say fuck Miami so bad because I want to beat the Dolphins in Miami. We've only won twice since 2012, and I can count the games. 2019 and 2016. That's the only 2 times we've won in Miami, okay? Now I'm going to get pissed, all right? This is where I need my water glass right here. I know people are going to say it's not a glass, it's a red cup. Yes, but it has water in it, okay? Oh, this fucking team. I watched this game in entirety because I wanted to watch my team for the first time in 9 months. And the last game I watched my team play was actually in Miami. The place that ended our season for good last year. Like, all hopes were done after that game, okay? But I watched us against the Raiders, and I wanted to see Josh McDaniels' offense with Drake May, and I wanted to see if he would take that step forward that I expected him to. And I also said in the game that Geno Smith, he has a good supporting cast around him. Bowers, Myers. I said the one guy that scared me was Dante Thornton because that dude has Randy Moss size and he can run. Don't let him beat you. Don't let him beat you. Bowers obviously was their number 1 target, but I said Chip Kelly calling plays scared me also. It ended up being true. All right? I said this, so you can go back and look at the tape. But let's go to the Raiders first. Geno Smith, I don't know what it is. He seems to own the Patriots every time he plays us. I mean, seriously, last year he fucking shreds us. Now this year he shreds us. 24 of 34, 362, a touchdown and a pick. Genty, he had the one score where I think it was a 4 or 5 yard touchdown where he still dived forward, or he was driving forward and he still reached over and got it on a 3rd and goal, and I'm like, oh, we gotta fucking make sure you don't score, but he did. Bauer shredded us, 5 for $103, and then a nobody named fucking receiver scores. Trey Tucker. I'm gonna get to my New England Patriots because there's gonna be some animated thing from me. How do you let a nobody named bum go off on you? And I'm not trying to say Trey Tucker's a bum. But if anybody goes off against you, Jacoby Myers hit fucking 8 for 97. Okay. Brock Bowers, okay, he's great. Trey Tucker got behind us on a 3rd and goal, and you call an all-out blitz where I'm like, why? Guys, there's times an all-out blitz does not work. It doesn't work with veteran quarterbacks that know where to go with the ball. Geno's one of them. Don't run an all-out blitz on Geno. Not in that moment. What are we doing? Did you not learn from the Cowboys game in 21? When CeeDee Lamb caught the exact same route? What? So Trey Tucker goes off. 2 for 54 and a touchdown. Dante Thornton catches the fucking dagger in the game on a 3rd and long. And the throw was behind him. I said don't let him get behind. He did it. Their offensive line, though, is shaky. I mean, Pete's going to be fine over there. Isaiah Polamau, the only thing I knew was that he was a good Madden card before this game, and he actually looked pretty good. But Pete Carroll, he knows how to build a secondary. I said that was the one Achilles heel with them over the last couple of years. Well, guess what? They've got that solved, at least for the time being. Because I did not know they brought Jamal Adams with them, and I don't know why Jamal Adams was fucking shit-talking. Buddy, you've been washed since 2020. All right? You had 1 good year with the Seahawks after 2 good years with the Jets, and then what have you done since? You've done nothing. And you're talking shit to us. Congratulations. That's your NFL fucking highlight. Good job, bro. I mean, you're talking shit to us. What have you done since 2020? Let's be real. All right. 4 sacks. Obviously, Polamalu had the pick, but you know what? The Raiders front four, I mean, Crosby did his thing, but fucking Tyree Wilson, I don't know what the whole fucking this was for on the sack celebration. I don't know what was that for. I mean, this isn't Baker Mayfield planting a flag on the OU flag on Ohio State in the horseshoe. Well, Michigan tried to do that, and a huge fight ensued. I don't know what that was all about, though, but now let's get to my New England Patriots. Aside from the opening drive, I liked what I saw from our offense. We moved the ball nicely. Travion Henderson looked all right. Kayshon Boutte actually looked like a number 1 wideout. And I was saying to myself, that's why they kept his ass on the roster. Because he actually looked pretty good. Stephon Diggs had a couple nice plays. I was like, okay. Pop Douglas, he had the one drop in the middle of the field where I'm like, and then he caught the ball in the end zone. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, this is good. I'm like, the kids settled down. I'm like, we're good. And then the Patriots turned into absolute fucking conservative pussies when it came to the second half starting. Explain to me why in all of the football knowledge that I know, why would you not open up the game for him to start the second half? I could see, watching the game, the linebackers pitching in towards the line of scrimmage. The safety's moving down into the box. And I'm saying, hit him now. Hit him with that deep crosser. Hit him with that fucking deep post, the skinny post, the bang 8. Hit him with it, Josh. No. Let's run. Let's run. Let's go. Dink and dunk underneath to the backs. Dink and dunk underneath to the slot receivers. Josh, open the fucking playbook for the kid. He's got an arm. He's got legs. Let him fucking use his talent. Open up the playbook. Stretch the defense. What the hell were you doing second half? What the fuck play call were you doing? Seriously? 3 points in the entire second half? You let Cam Newton air it out more than you let Drake May did all of last game. Hell, Mac Jones even threw deep on the fucking Jets, on the Cowboys in 21. But you can't let him throw when he has a better arm than Mac Jones ever had. He had a way better arm than Cam Newton had, especially in 2020 after week 5. Yeah. He definitely had more mobility than Cam and Mac did. You can't roll out and get him moving on the run. So did you learn anything from that year off, Josh McDaniels? Did you learn anything except being known as a great pickleball player? Did you learn anything, Josh McDaniels? Hell, I even remember Derek Carr throwing deep to Mac Hollins and Devontae Adams more than Drake May fucking threw deep yesterday. What the hell were you doing, Josh McDaniels? Open the fucking offense for him. Stretch the damn defense. What the hell was that game plan in the second half? That was fucking trash. That was a fucking garbage game plan. Why is this offense such conservative? Why is it that since 2020, it feels like we forgot how to be innovative or learn what an explosive offense does, or learn how to stretch a defense vertically? All of a sudden, that has just been non-existent in New England. Now, I blame Bill. Bill's got his fair share of blame. Josh McDaniels just came back after a bad stint in Vegas, but we've gone through Matt Patricia being an OC, We've gone through Bill O'Brien being an OC. Alex Van Pelt was horrible last year. Even Alex Van Pelt had bigger deep balls for Drake May as far as, remember the bomb to Keyshawn Boutte in the Texans game right before halftime? Yeah, that was Drake May's first game. Yep. Now, we don't throw deep. We don't have a vertical push downfield. Stress the damn defense. This fucking dink and dunk underneath shit is too predictable. This is not a quarterback like Mac Jones who he has to rely on his accuracy. Drake May has more physical tools and you don't let him use it. Why? Take a shot in a quarter. Take a shot downfield. At least keep the defense guessing. Oh shit, they might hit us with a deep ball. What are you saving this for? It's game 1. You're telling me you have no plays that actually vertically push the defense, and you spent what for the last 6 months? What did you spend doing? So that tells me you didn't learn a damn thing after a year off. Now, I love Mike Vrabel. He's a great coach, okay? I love the hire. I had a conversation with a friend of mine right before I just recorded, and he's not, let's just say, thinking that Vrabel is going to do his best to support Drake May. I told him I'm not going to make that declaration yet. I need to see how this develops. I did also counter with him on some points that I'll address in a later show. But Mike Vrabel, the game basically was decided when he punted on 4th and 10 with under 5 minutes to go at midfield. And I said, yep, we deserve to fucking lose. Because when you did that, I said, yep, we lost. The defense couldn't stop anybody at that moment. And I'm like, there goes any chance of at least trying to win the game. So, and I know Vrabel was trying to give confidence to the defense, but Vrabel, you're at midfield. Do you really think you're going to get the ball back? No, go for it. You got to fucking learn in a game situation. Down 4, game might be slipping away. You got to have some answers. You were at midfield. We really scored 3 in the second half, but it felt like we scored 0. And I want to, and this loss to me, and Drake May, you're not excused of any blame. You are throwing way too many passes high and above. Throw it on the money. You need to work on that because you're throwing it too high. I know the first drive was nerves. Then what after that? You just kept zipping it too much high. I'm like, put it right in the dude's hands. He got too I don't want to say frantic, but he just throwing it too high. Just put it right on the hands, man. And he's good. I expect him to get better, but this was a very, discouraging sign because this was a game for the taking. You start the Mike Vrabel era off wrong, and we've only won, 2 opening games since 2019? Post-Tom Brady era? I'm just tired of seeing boring offensive football. I'm tired of seeing no explosive plays on offense. I want to see an offense where I go, okay, that's the play call we need to stretch a defense. I feels like we forgot that. I feels like I got all thrown out the window, and I don't know where it went. But Vrabel, I'm sorry. That was a horrible decision on 4th and 10 to punt. Horrible decision. And I knew in that moment we lost the game. We deserved to lose this game. But your defense, getting after the quarterback, there were some cool blitzes that they mixed in. Harold Landry looked like an amazing find. He really did. He looked awesome, okay? Jalen Hawkins, aside from the one tip drill pick that you caught, you are the first Patriot to be on my shit list, and we didn't even get through one game, and you already are on my shit list. I tweeted it live, and I had 2 people like it. Bro, you go fucking inside on a crossing pattern going this way. What? Why? What are you looking at? And dude, you're always trailing. This is Jelani Tavai syndrome all over again. Jelani Tavai is always slow and 5 yards off to this side while the fucking receiver runner is going this way. He's just not good. And I know the Jabril Peppers, listen, I I understood why they did it, but like, Jabril would never have had that happen. There's no way. There's no way. And I know Vrabel has his guys that he likes. This is unacceptable, bro. This was unacceptable, period, that this happened. And I'm serious. This was a joke. This was an absolute joke of a performance by the offense, just disappointing massively. And the defense, just to me, like, you know, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed as far as just getting stops when we need to. And we didn't get them. One takeaway the whole game. Yeah, we got 4 sacks, but a lot of work. Now, Gonzo was out. But I'm not saying if he would have played, it would have made a huge difference. It probably would have. But just disencouraging sign. Disencouraging sign that this happened. So that's that. Now, there were a couple other games that, you know, in NFL that I do want to talk about. I know Steelers-Jets was exciting. Aaron Rodgers actually looked pretty good against his old team, and, you know, he looked really good. 22 of 30 for 4 touchdowns and 244 yards. I mean, wow. Aaron Glenn, new defensive scheme. I figured this would happen a little bit, right? But did not expect that game to be an over. I was dead wrong on that. I mean, of course, the one game I did not expect to go over, that game goes over, and that I predicted under. I was wrong on that. Okay. Let's go over some other ones. Lions, Green Bay. All right, let's go over this. This is the last one, and then I'm going to get into a little bit of college football, one touch, because I want to talk about USF beating Florida briefly. The Detroit Lions fell victim to my biggest new NFL theory that I think is a trend. And I know one of my uncles likes trends. He was just on the show. Well, I found one for you. Any team with a new coordinator or lost both coordinators, expect regression. That's going to be the Lions. I called at the beginning of the year. I said go under in their win total. That was one of my top bets of the season. I still think they're going to go under. And I never looked more confident than I do now. Their offense did not look really much of last year. They didn't. Okay? I will say to you that I would be not concerned, but their defense gave up big plays. Jordan Love, let's go to the Packers first. Jordan Love actually looked really good yesterday. He did. He looked like he was accurate, on time. He had a couple touchdowns where he threw one right on the money to Jaden Reed in the back right corner of the end zone, like along the right sideline. Tucker Kraft, he scored. Josh Jacobs ran one in really late. So Green Bay's offense looked like a well-oiled machine. And Jordan Love really didn't have the gaudy stat numbers, but he looked really good yesterday. He really did. Dobbs caught the big play. I think one was for 48, so he really did a good job there. But they really did a good job moving the ball to different receivers. I thought Matthew Golden would have a big play in this game. I was wrong. But the big story, Green Bay's pass rush. I mean, you see that defense yesterday? Yeah. That defense looked legit, man. I mean, I said that front four. Yeah, that front four. Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness, Devontae Wyatt, Parsons got a sack. Yeah, that front four, them boys hunting, bro. Them boys went after the quarterback. They're legit, okay? They're young. Okay, Evan Williams had a pick that was really nice. Okay, this Packers defense held a Lions offense that was without Ben Johnson, but a new coordinator. They had mostly the same skill players. They held the Lions to, if you really think about it, they held them pretty much under 300 yards in total offense. And they really didn't do much. And that's a recipe for success if you can hold the Lions to under, well, in this case, it was 13 points, under 300 total yards of offense. That's a recipe for a good sign. Obviously, a recipe for disaster. That's my fault. Autopilot, but no. Recipe for success, holding them to under 300 yards of offense, 13 points, 4 sacks, a takeaway. This Packers defense is legit, and guess who they got next week? Oh, actually not next week, a few days from now. The Washington Commanders. And I've got a friend that's a Commanders fan. I'm very curious to see how he does and how he feels about Jaden Daniels going against that defense in Lambeau. And I am like, yeah, Jaden Daniels is good, but Jaden Daniels, it's going to be one of the best defenses he faces all season. But Green Bay, it's hard for me to not say at this particular moment, and it's week 1, I get it. We're going to overreact on a bunch of things. This one is not an overreaction. The Packers are a serious favorite to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, right now. Look how good Micah Parsons looks out of that defense. They got edge rushers, Rashawn Gary, Van Ness, Parsons, Devontae Wyatt. They got some other guys that were really good over there. Jeff Hafley's done an amazing job with that defense. Yeah. The Lions now, I am not surprised at all what happened. Jared Goff looked all right. Took what the defense gave him for the most part. But they really struggled mightily. Defensively, they just could not get stops. They could not get pressure on Love. No shock there. Laporta did pretty good. Gibbs out of the backfield just kind of, was check down routes. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4 for 45. I mean, they didn't have that explosive stress on the defense. And that's the consequence when you lose both your coordinators, is like you don't get the philosophies to always be the same. And I had my uncle talk about a little bit of it when he was on about over a month ago already. And I told him, I said, I don't think it's going to be easy for them to replace. But this was also before Micah Parsons got traded from Dallas to Green Bay. And he called me right after that trade. He's like, Green Bay's going to win the division. So, but the Lions, they've got a lot to kind of clear up right now. And, again, and their schedule, they got to go to Baltimore, I think, in 2 weeks from yesterday. So the Lions have to get right and find something offensively. Because whatever you did last year, it's a new season. You got to find something new. And that's got to get solved. That's got to get figured out. But that's pretty much what they're going to have to do. It's a new season. You got to change your identity up a little bit. Campbell will run, so maybe try to get the running game going early, and then try to kind of figure out ways to stretch the defense. And that's where Morton's going to have to figure out what he's going to do as far as his philosophy on offense. And I think Goff will buy in. It's going to take a little while. So the Bucs-Falcons game, that was expected. I thought Michael Penix really did well in that game for Atlanta. Bijan Robinson, he did good for me in fantasy yesterday, but my rest of my team not so much. Tampa Bay, they look pretty solid. Emeka Buka, I think, is going to be an awesome addition to this offense, especially when Chris Godwin comes back. But Tampa Bay, they looked really good on offense, and defensively they held Atlanta to 20. But again, that's something I think that they're missing one big piece. I think that might be able to help them get where they need to go. But they almost went that game into overtime. I was really more impressed with how Penix really looked in his first full game as a full-time starter. And I know people are going to say, well, what about the last 3 from last year? Yeah, but they wanted to just see what they had because they weren't going to win the division anyway. But Tampa wins a key game in Atlanta, and I predicted it to be a 3-point game. Just wrong score. That was impressive for Tampa. Atlanta, though, you got to feel good about the step Michael Penix is taking. And then, realistically, I don't really have much I'm going to talk about. Oh, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua. You guys let me down yesterday. But to be fair, I mean, this was a lot of unders in this week. I don't think anybody scored before last night. I mean, I don't think anybody scored really over 30 points before last night with the Ravens-Bills, where you had to have people that scored 30 plus. I could be wrong on that. So you fantasy nerds, you let me know. But a lot of people in fantasy didn't do well outside of Ravens-Bills. Now tonight, let's see how that goes. All right? But that's that. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Lounge Time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys hit that like button, that notification bell, that subscribe button. So that way you guys can get all the latest notifications and content for this season. We're just getting started. Week 1's now in the books almost. Bears-Vikings tonight. Week 1 will be in the books. Week 2 is about to get started up. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to save Florida and South Florida for maybe Thursday a little bit because Florida is playing LSU. I'm going to save that a little bit for there. All right, so I'm going to move that to Thursday. All right, but you guys don't want to miss it. We got a lot of content. Also, follow us on Rumble and follow me on X at Loungetime Pod. I'll be tweeting sometimes during games when I'm watching. If I have a thought, I'm like, oh, let me say this. Heck, if you guys want to even talk to me about a topic, at me, and I'll be like, all right, I'll bring it up on the show. I have no problem taking questions. I really have no problem answering on that stuff. Heck, if it's so good, I might even answer it on the show, all right? But guys, thank you so much for tuning to Lounge Time. I know this analysis was pretty longer than expected. These are usually the ones I expect to be long going forward. Now, this week, I should say, this is more of a week where, it'll be mostly picks. I'll preview some key matchups, and then we'll get into a couple college football picks. And then survivor picks and stuff like that, guarantees. That's basically how the weeks will go as the season goes on. But thank you so much for tuning in to Lounge Time. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell, that like button, that subscribe button, so that way you guys can get all the latest content you need as we get into football season ramping up on both YouTube. Also follow me on Rumble. Okay, Lounge Time is now on Rumble. You can watch it there. And follow me on X at Loungetime Pod. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Lounge Time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy the week leading up to NFL Week 2, and enjoy Monday Night Football tonight. I will see you guys later in the week on the next episode of Lounge Time. Have a great night, everybody.